Daily download.
Russian military jets getting a little naughty, a museum in questionable taste, and can you spot what's wrong with this picture? Here's a hint, it's not the music. Well, aloha again from Washington. Doug Bernard here in the VOA newsroom with your download. And we're starting today with the after effects of a major storm. Now, it was bad enough that Hurricane Dean, one of the strongest ever storms to make landfall, worse, it hit the same country twice. Mexico now in full cleanup mode in Yucatan and Veracruz states. President Felipe Calderon on hand to survey the damage and to lend a hand where he can. The good news, so far at least, Dean causing no reported deaths in Mexico. Well, from too much to nowhere near enough rainfall, and Italy now, dry winds from Africa whipping up flames in the Sicilian hills, the Italian military mobilizing to combat the fires that have now spread to Calabria and Naples. The blazes playing havoc with Italian tourism as well, now at its summertime peak. And hey, do you remember those cool military jets we showed you on display at Russia's air show earlier this week? Well, they might want to double check a few aren't missing. And if so, perhaps their friends in the south in Georgia have a guess or two. For the second time this month, military radar tracked a Russian Su-24 fighter jet entering Georgian airspace. Tbilisi none too amused by the incursions, this coming just 2 weeks after Georgia says another Russian aircraft dropped a missile in a farmer's field near Tbilisi. Well, nothing naughty about our weekly web chats, but plenty worthwhile all the same. And coming up next week, we'll spend an hour with author Deepak Chopra. You'll want to get your questions in early, and to do so, just go to voanews.com and click on that link that says T2A.
Daily download.
You know, one thing we here at the Download are continually learning. There's no such thing as an idea so wrong you can't get a little publicity off it. And so to Pittsburgh now, and what's making all these people so happy? Could it be world peace? An end to global hunger? Yeah, more like an end to their hunger. Hundreds turning out for the opening of the world's first Big Mac Museum. First? You mean there are going to be others? Well, doubtful, as Pittsburgh, the home of the father of the Big Mac, Jim Delegati, who also gets a statue at the museum, in addition to a sandwich. And as for the food court at the new museum, yeah, well, you probably could have guessed that. Well, speaking of wrong ideas, here's a big fat one for you. Dude, glacier make big wave righteous for surfing. Hawaiian surfer Keala'i'i Mamala here, and, well, here somewhere at the head of this mammoth wave on Alaska's Copper River. Mamala now the record holder in something called ice surfing, which is both exactly what it looks like and nearly as freaky as you might imagine.
The rush, it's a good feeling, all natural, and super powerful, man. That was the best. I got my rush and I was even on the wave.
Mad, eloquent dudes. The new sport made possible by the increasing number of chunks falling off Arctic glaciers. And who says global warming can't be fun? Well, now, before this last item, let's just make one thing very clear. It's never our goal here to make fun of anyone who doesn't deserve it. Seriously, we think of it more as an occasional peek into the giant circus tent. That is the human condition. No better transition, perhaps, then, to this classic bit of Finnish TV floating around the nets. Can you guess what decade it's from? Wow. Just wow. Now, there's no telling who thought this was a good idea. All we can say is, thank you again, Internet. Well, that's your download. We'll see you again tomorrow.